Welcome again to the World Juggling Federation series of video competition blitzes. This week's blitz, the 5-ball 5-up 360s. Here's what we're looking for. 10 perfectly executed 5-up 360s. Now the 360s do not have to be connected, but there is a 90-second time limit. Now here's the judging criteria. Consistency of throw heights, pattern smoothness, pattern placement, how far you travel from your origin, 360 technique, time, how fast you do your 360s, facial relaxation, how much control you have over your facial muscles while doing these, camera framing, making sure you're centered, and camera focus, making sure you're focused. This last week I was at the Philly Fest Juggling Festival refereeing Major League Combat, so let's first check out some highlights from that, featuring Team Blue, Team Tourniquet, Team Hat, and Team Pla. Team Pla because there were only 3 members from Team Play. Pla. Now I delegated this week's Blitz judging authority to Team Pla and Viveca Gardiner. I was present to make sure that the judging criteria was understood and implemented correctly. Let's see how that went.
The shadows are really different, yeah. And the backlighting, so the bright section here, bright section here, he's somewhere in the middle of lit and not.
This band makes the ball disappear.
Yeah. You can see the sun he's putting his back to the sun, but still trying to not blind the camera.
Yeah,
it's a good try, but
it's good for him. The lighting is great for him, but we can't really see what he's doing right now. This is a juggling video competition, so you're not just judged on your juggling, you're judged on all the criteria, cinematography, framing, focus. He's in focus if you find him. He's not centered.
Yeah, dude, he did 10
connected.
So for the criteria, he did them faster, which is also criteria. So he got in his 10 faster.
I can't tell if he's doing a full rotation because he's such in the dark. I can't tell if he started
like this, and he kind of went like boom, 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 and then back.
And Weston stayed perfectly facing the camera.
See, he started facing.
Were you allowed to do setup throws?
Yeah, you were
That's
allowed.
360.
But he's facing that way.
Right. No, what I'm saying
That was more
is.
than a 360.
Which means
That
that
one was more. That one was more. A few of them
he's
are
gradually facing the camera more as he does it. And now he's back. Now he's back.
He has, again, like Wes, he has very little setup with his speed, and he comes to a symmetrical position, but he started off our
So who do we give it to?
On the count of 3, we all say who we want to win.
What's the comparative waiting for juggling?
You have to have whoever has most of the criteria met should win. Of the juggling criteria, there was he did it faster.
The smoother with the feet steps.
Smoother. but he doesn't have any of the cinematography requirements.
It's also
Oh, he is in focus. So Weston had focused, centered, no distractions. 1, 2, 3. Weston. You said David, you say Weston. You said Weston. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Explain why then.
I thought that Weston had I thought Weston did good in the juggling part. He also did good in the cinematography part. So, you know, even though I thought David did better overall in the juggling, I feel like he had pretty much nothing in the cinematography area. So, looking at the big picture, I would say Weston.
Right, because Weston wasn't bad. His juggling was very good. It just wasn't connected.
It wasn't connected, but that wasn't part of the criteria, right?
Right.
Your criteria wasn't if it's
but it was
harder.
He did it less time. He did it less time, and that is a criteria.
Yeah.
Then he did it faster. But your reason for giving it to Weston?
Weston's juggling was competent. He did what he was supposed to do, and David did, did we do a straight point-by-point matchup of all the criteria you read us?
He did. Consistency of the throw heights.
David.
They both had that. Or are we doing
I
David first?
think Weston's
No.
were better than David's
His consistency.
as far as height.
Yeah. They
I
were.
thought when he was coming out. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about
Not
the
when he's coming
symmetry.
out, when he's just of the 360s.
His plane changes too, like some are
Right. When he starts with the right hand, it's higher. When he starts with the left hand, it's lower. Well, there are inconsistencies in both.
So yeah, I think it's a
So it's a wash. It's a wash on that one. Consistency of throws, they both have that even. Pattern smoothness,
I'd say neither of them were like really out of control.
so they're both, that's probably a wash on that one too.
Oh, okay. Then we're good.
There's that in there, yeah.
It's a wash.
Pattern placement, how far you travel from your origin. All right, so then we're actually giving David a point for that and not him. So he has 1. So facial relaxation, we saw fish mouth from Weston. So we're actually giving David, but even though his face was in the dark, we couldn't tell. New rule, you can't hide your face. We've got to see, everything has to be lit.
You don't get a negative mask on.
Camera framing. Went to Weston, camera focus, they're both focused.
So in terms of videos I would watch again, I would watch David's again because he did 10 connected in a row. I was really impressed by it, and I would watch him do that video. Even though the video quality was
You would watch the juggling again. You wouldn't want to watch the video again.
I wouldn't want to watch the video again, but I would put up with it. Weston had a lot of control, and his video was nice and clean.
I don't want to penalize somebody for having worse practice space. I think, he's slightly off center, but he's not out of
If he
focus.
did it at noon, it would have been better. So it was lack of attention to detail. Well, also he wasn't centered. So he was disregarding, he was doing the bare minimum to get his video through the qualification process of being admitted, but then fell short on the actual judging criteria of video quality.
I think if you look at video and juggling, Weston's video is way better, and David's juggling is a little better.
Yeah. That's like it.
Only because of they're all connected.
That's
the 360, the quality of each 360. If you break each of them, it's not that much better than Weston.
exactly. That's
If
why.
not.
Josh, I really like that reasoning. I think
I'm still sticking with Wes.
That's why I had
Same
originally
reasons.
voted for Wes. Is that
You have opened my eyes, sir. Like I'm not even.
Okay,
kidding.
one more time, we're gonna count to 3. And you all are gonna say what you think should win. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Weston.
So there you have it. Weston Robarts wins the WJF Video Competition Blitz number 4, demonstrating superior 5-ball, 5-up 360 technique and cinematography. Although it was just a simple shot in a gym, it didn't have any negative attributes, whereas David ignored the importance of being centered and included some very distracting dark and hot spots. Of the juggling, after editing the video, it was clear that Weston had less fluctuation in throw heights, pattern smoothness, pattern placement, and 360 technique. This was demonstrated by the red bar's movement when each 360 throw peaked, and in David's under and over rotated 360s, whereas Wes faced the camera the whole time and always returned to the same orientation after each 360. Both had some foot movement, but David's movement was worse since he didn't always come back to the same orientation, demonstrating incomplete 360 rotation. Yes, connecting 10 5-up 360s together is more difficult, but the result was a degradation in the quality of each individual 360. Sacrificing quality of the 360 to get a better time wasn't a good strategy because time was only one criteria, whereas 360 quality comprised 4. So when doing a point-by-point analysis of who won each criteria, David gets credit for 3 and Weston gets credit for 6. We also learned that it's important to be centered and to not juggle half in the dark and half in backlighting because we want to see what you're doing without any distractions. If you have some good juggling to show us, take the time to make sure that we can see it and that you're not sabotaging your entry with poor video work. So thank you all for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well we all do in the next juggling video competition Blitz. If you want to learn how to juggle, click here. If you need juggling equipment or instructional materials, go there. And as usual, subscribe to these YouTube channels.